question is, what does it mean when a man admits he's trying to protect you from himself? Is that love or is it avoidance?
Cap. No. You know what I think it means? It means I want the ability to tell you, I told you so up a year or two down the line. I told you I had mama drama. I told you I wasn't over my ex. It sounds like, see, here's the thing. A lot of you guys see a man's vulnerability in such a way that means draw closer. You're like, you know what? I'm glad he told me this. That means he trusts me. Even though he's telling you where the his red flags are, and instead of avoiding it, what do? You say, oh, he must care about me.
Love me.
What I'm saying is, the last thing you want to give a man the ability to do is to tell you, I already told you I was f***ed up.
There you go.
Because guess what? Every moment you invest in that man, after that man has finally told you the truth about him, you don't want it. Listen, you don't want to hear this, but it's on you. It does not mean fix him. It does not mean change him. It does not mean he just ain't never met a woman like me. It means pack your shit and find a healed man. Anybody else? Anybody? Do we got anything else?
I think you pressed that one, brother.
All right. Thank you for your question. You gonna sit on down. Thank you. I appreciate it. Can we get the next question to the mic? Don't come back talking like that. You know what I'm saying though? It's like almost like this closeness that a lot of women who are healers. These are people that doesn't know how and who to heal, but like they see their ability to heal in broken men. And sometimes it's like you don't know what to do with a healed man because your talent is raising boys into men, so you find a man that's still a boy inside. And I want y'all to understand that cry for help should be to a therapist or a friend or his mama. Did you have something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, in a situation like that, the funny part is a lot of women don't realize, like, I can finesse you by telling you the God's honest truth. I ain't got a lot of you at all to finesse you, right? Because as men, like, we analyze how desperate you are.
And they play off of that.
And we
play off of how
right.
vulnerable.
We analyze just how much you like us. And we don't really like you that much. But I can tell you the truth. Hey, I ain't really looking for nothing serious right now. But I know you're going to go 100 miles an hour trying to change my mind. And you're going to give me everything that I've been, every quality that comes with you, I'm going to be able to get without giving zero commitment, without giving zero dedication. So again, we got to be careful for that. Like, you got to, like, when a man tell you that type of shit, like, you got to take it at face value. He don't really mean that. Just like bro said, he ain't met a woman like me. No. He telling you exactly what it is. Take that information and run 100 miles an hour the other way.
Y'all got to understand. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, just to play devil's advocate, at least...
That was the good husband. Remember, he was the good husband.
No, but thank you. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. I done lost my goddamn thought. Look, okay, so, but ladies, wouldn't you want it put out there on the table? I mean, because he could do it he could do it like he did it, or you could just hide all that shit and you find out 2, 3, 4 years later. Right. So, I mean, you gotta kind of give him some credit for it.
Well, here's the thing. Let me tell you, you know what? I agree. Yeah. I agree if there is what you did about it associated with it.
Exactly.
Like, hey, listen, I ain't gonna lie. My previous relationship, it was X, Y, and Z. And listen, after that, I was kind of fucked up, but I went to therapy. I took some time for myself. I was celibate for some time. I went to Tonight's Conversation podcast, and I listened to these, and I did all these different things. And now I'm at a place where I'm healed, because I'm gonna be honest with you. There are times when, after my last breakup, I couldn't sleep at night. I couldn't sleep at night, but I was at brunch with mimosas in front of a new girl's face, acting like everything is fine. And I'm gonna tell you, there was a time where I'm like, you know what? I gotta sit my ass at the house. And it's cold and it's lonely. But now when I go and I can tell the story, I can tell about what I did to get out of that space. Some people are still in that space and they're expecting you to deal with it. And that's why they're telling you. And let me tell you one thing. You think you special because he's telling you his trauma. That's game.
But I do think I do give them respect for giving her the choice. A lot of ain't gonna give you the choice.
That's true.
They gonna do all the, the moonlighting and all that, get you trapped. And then you gonna find out the hard way. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
So I do.
Well, can I give you
I give them a little grace.
prescription? I want to give you a prescription for all of that. Beloveds, you have to live your life and set yourself up so that people will tell you the truth and you can receive it.
There you go.
Because sometimes we don't tell ourselves the truth about ourselves, and the lie comes in and just finds other lies to live with. But if you telling yourself the truth about yourself, within yourself, I'm really desperate right now. I really wish I had a regular peace right now. I'm tired of, I don't want to die old lady with cats. I don't, whatever it is. Then when the truth comes in, you'll receive it. And when a lie comes in, you'll recognize it.
Toya, let me ask you this question before we move on. Why do you think certain people, but right now we're talking about a woman, stay after a man has finally taken off the mask and become their true selves?
I think a lot of women stay after men take off the mask is because they are sometimes it has to do with insecurity. It has to do with them just not being whole. I always say this is something I believe in. You have to be whole before you can be anyone's half. So you have to fix you, they have to fix them, and then you come together, because otherwise you're going to accept things that you wouldn't normally accept, deal with stuff you wouldn't normally deal with. You have to love yourself first, and that's the problem. A lot of women don't love themselves enough to walk away from unhealthy things that does not serve them.
Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. All right, what's your name? What's your question?
My name is Ashley. My question is, why can men dish shit but can't take it?
Ooh. Girl. Hold on.
The question was, when men dish shit, why can't they take it? Meaning, when they cheat, it's okay. But when a woman cheat back, they can't take it.
Cause y'all don't cheat fair. This dude, 6'7", rock hard abs, dark skinned, white teeth, dimple having, full hairline and beard. He walked, and he always wear gray sweatpants too. Y'all don't cheat fair. See, when I cheated, it was just with Keisha down the street. Y'all cheat up. Listen, a lot of this is why men be, cause we be down. Y'all women up. Y'all will cheat with men that you can actually see yourself being with. We cheat with women we don't want to be with. No, I'm just playing. Now, before we get into the seriousness of this, I want to say this. One of the people I admire the most said something when somebody asked this question, and he was like, "It's foolish to ask that question because a person's ability to dish pain does not speak to his ability to take it." And I'm gonna tell you one other thing. A lot of times, and y'all gonna hate me for saying this, y'all will accept a man would never accept from you. It's like the standards that you have with that, don't fault me because I have a little higher self-respect for myself. And don't think that just because we traded, I in my eyes think we even. No. Because I thought and I was raised to think that you should accept that. And sometimes you think so too. That's why when that man does what he does, you take him back, and you take him back knowing that if you stepped out, he wouldn't take you back. Anybody else?
I don't believe in cheating. I don't think people can cheat.
Speak.
I think that you make a choice that is either respectful of yourself and your partner or it's not. Now, if you and I have a clear agreement, see, sometimes y'all call it cheating, but you haven't even set the agreement up front about what is acceptable and unacceptable in the relationship. You haven't set your deal breakers. You know, it's like we liking each other and now we all hanging out, and because you've been here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I expect you to come on Friday. We don't have that agreement, boo. Anyway, so the question for me is not, we have a clear agreement, we're in relationship, and if you don't honor that agreement, then it means you don't have no integrity. And the question is for me, do I want to continue to be with a person who doesn't have integrity? See, there's two things I don't play with. Don't cheat and don't mess with my money. Those are my deal breakers. And I don't want you out sleeping with somebody else because you bring that energy home and now we having a menage a trois. I don't do the freaky stuff. I'm not the freak. I'm not the freak. I do a lot of stuff, but I'm not freaking with you and her. Don't bring her energy home to me. Make that choice for me that I haven't made for myself. So to me, it's not cheating. It's you have violated our agreement. You have betrayed my trust. You have shown me your character, and you, sir, madam, whoever you are, have no integrity, and I don't choose to be in a relationship with someone who doesn't honor themselves.
I want to ask, thank you for that healthy answer. And because this is a podcast, I'm going to give an unrealistic scenario, and you have to pick. You can't say both. Okay. Who's worse, the cheater or the cheat backer?
The cheater.
Who's worse, the cheater or the cheat backer? Kitty. Oh, Kitty.
Okay. I heard a lot of people say the cheater. To me, it's the person who cheats back. Because you're being vengeful more than likely. Or because that person made a decision, you decided to do the same thing back to them because you have anger or resentment or bitterness in your heart. So I think that's the more dangerous person. Because at this point, how far will you go? Because just because a person lacks integrity doesn't mean that you mirror that lack of integrity. Just because someone does something immoral doesn't mean that you do something immoral. You're willing to risk your morality for the sake of getting back at somebody? That's a dangerous person to be around.
Bad spiritual hygiene.
Yes.
Bad.
All right. Thank you for your question. I appreciate it.
I like to say hi, Lance.
She said, Lance. All right, so listen. Hey, I'm gonna tell you this. It's so messed up how some men can be, and I say some, because we can be slanging and dangling all out. Let her lick a lollipop one time.
Ready to shoot up
We
the whole
wanted him to feel good. Like, yes. And so I will say this. You knew that would hurt me and you did it anyway. So I agree with you. However, sometimes our actions have unintended consequences. And I'm not saying that woman or man that cheats back is in the right. But sometimes what we can't do is hyper focus on what they did to deflect on the fact that ours was the causation or influenced that action. And I think what happens is a lot of times you'll have somebody that maybe it's not full-blown cheating, but I started texting first. And this woman that I was with, I ain't never seen texting at all. But now I'm texting, I'm laughing on the phone, and then a couple months later, now she's texting and she's laughing on the phone. And I'm not saying that she's not responsible for her own being, but as leaders, especially men, sometimes we set the example to follow. And if you set a great example, because you wanted to follow her, and she follows that great. But if you set a bad example, I think you was gonna get. Yep. It's still wrong, but I'm saying I agree with you, but I don't know. What's your name? What's your question?
You gotta get the
My name is Candace. I was raised under the school, career, marriage, family. And growing up, I also heard you attract what you are. So going through that, I've done the school, got the career, been very focused on that. Through relationships and going through school, because I did social work, I have gone through the healing and the growing. So what advice can you give on what I'm doing wrong or what I should be doing to meet that like-minded person?
Were you, what type of man you looking for? I'm just playing. All right. Toya, what would be your best advice for a person who, a career woman, somebody that's achieved something, elevated her life, and then now she may be looking at the dating pool and find that a lot of people didn't elevate as well?
Ooh, child. Because what I'm hearing, what's in a dating pool is just, it's a mess. But I do feel like they do have good men out here still. I believe there are good God-fearing men, hard-working men, and there is someone for you. But, you know, we got to vet them these days, sis.
Yes, and that vetting process is the hard part.
It's very hard. It depends on like where you hang out at, the group of people you are around. You sure don't want to meet them in a club. You don't want to meet them in certain settings. You know, you want to meet somebody like where you at, like the type of vibes that you on or whatever, a good level-headed man. And pay attention to the signs, like the red flags, because sometimes we seem to see the red flags and a lot of us like Six Flags. We go along with it. But I be hearing some stories. I'm married. I've been married for some years now. I've always been in relationships, but I have a lot of single friends. And for some reason, I don't understand like why now it is extremely hard for beautiful, successful women like yourself to find like real, true love, a quality man. Like, I don't know what's going on in the world. It's like men, I be hearing stories like men want to be approached. They don't want to be the prize. They want to be this and that. But I just, he like, yes, no. It's like we want to feel, you know, back like the old days where you get courted, like you want to go out, you want a man to be respectful. It's like they want to be approached. Like, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you could talk to, say hi, whatever, but like, no, we ain't doing all that. Like, we not.
Let me just explain something. What's happening is supposed to happen. When you elevate and better yourself, less people are going to meet your standards. And so oftentimes we are getting upset for our elevation doing the job it's supposed to do. Listen, when you sit in first class, only 12 people around you.
Right.
And then those 12 people have also done the work to be able to sit there. But here's the question. Sometimes, and this is the question for the people that are constantly running into these same people. You sitting in coach. And what I mean by that is, sometimes we think that we are dating in this elevated spaces. But we not. We in that pool everybody complaining about because we refuse to see that there's other pools we can be in. Sometimes it's that person you gave a chance longer than you should. Sometimes you feel bad because, you know what? I need to give him a chance. We all done been down on our luck, and then you give Mr. Wrong a little bit too much chances. All I'm saying is, never be mad at your standards for working. Anybody else?
Yeah, I got some. You a believer?
Yes.
Good. I want to make sure I'm talking to the right soul. Okay. You know, the saying, let go and let God is real. When you fully let go of your need to be in control of your life, things become a lot easier. When you say, God, I surrender my desires and I want my desires to align with your desires. Lord, align my heart with your heart. Lord, have your way, to fully have your way and you let God come in as the sovereign God, the God that reigns over everything, you allow him to come in and do the reconstructing, that's when things get easier, because now you're not jaded. Your vision is not clouded. Your judgment is not clouded. None of that. You allow God who sees all, the God who had already pre-written the plan, who had already written out your life, the God who says, I have a person already designed for you, you allow him to come in and start cleaning shop like he needs to, removing the things inside of you that may push somebody away, to bring in certain aspects and characteristics of you that'll be able to nurture a relationship, to bring in those wifely qualities that you may have had hidden for a long time. When you allow God to have his way and you really say, Father, order my steps, and you allow God to lead, that's when that person comes to you. But a lot of times we get so focused on what we want when it's God protecting us. And sometimes the delay is not the denial. I'm delaying you because you're not ready right now. You're not quite there right now. But when you look at your life and you go back over your life and you start scanning and you look at the times that God showed up in the perfect time, and you remember all of the things that he allowed himself to do, all of the promises that he fulfilled, that's God to lead. That's when that person comes to you. But a lot of times we get so focused on what we want when it's God protecting us. And sometimes the delay is not the denial. I'm delaying you because you're not ready right now. You're not quite there right now. But when you look at your life and you go back over your life and you start scanning and you look at the times that God showed up in the perfect time, and you remember all of the things that he allowed himself to do, all of the promises that he fulfilled, that's where your anchor is right there. That's where your hope is right there, because I remember a time when you showed up and I didn't know that you were going to be there, God, but you came right on time. The time I didn't have the money in my account, you came right on time. The time that I wanted to remove somebody in my life, you came right in time. The time where I was about to wreck out, you came right in time. So if I know you're the God who is timely, then I know when it comes to love, you're going to come right on time. You understand that?
Oh, thank you for your question. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Man, that's a gift. That's a gift. That's a gift. What's your name? What's your question?
My name is Cliff.
And I can tell the way you doing your hands. He like,
Nah, don't do him like that. Come on, Cliff.
watch this, watch this.
You don't want to go the way of Mr. Paul.
Don't pull up Mr. Paul. Go ahead.
I'm not gonna pull a Mr. Paul, but it's like, why is it that male vulnerability is always attacked? You know, and like I even heard y'all say, you know, it's game. Lance, he said, you know, you should be upfront, but a lot of times guys don't be vulnerable or even feel like they can tell you the truth or admit that they got a problem, because it's either it's a problem now or it's gonna be a problem later. So to even admit that I have a flaw or say, you know, I'm worried or concerned about anything, it's like you gotta be perfect. It's like we're not living the same human experience.
Oh, hold on, Lance, do you feel that in certain spaces, maybe with women or certain spaces with your male friends, that vulnerability isn't encouraged? It may, you know.
I guess I got a good circle because it's always encouraged. And like I was saying last time, I'm an actor, so part of my job is, we got this thing that we do as actors, it's called an emotional dump. And I'm a firm believer of putting everything out front, and either you're gonna accept me or you're gonna walk away. And you're doing me a favor if you walk away. You know what I'm saying? So I can move on to what's meant for me. But that's just my take on it, man. I think you should always, you should never be afraid to be who you are, to say who you are, your flaws, the good things about you, the perfect parts about you, and the negative parts about you, you know what I'm saying, that you view as negative.
But I think what you're offering, lady beloveds, hear what he's saying. Because I will tell you, I'll confess that as a woman, I have a tendency to be a history major. I will whip you up with your history in a moment. You may have told me back in 56. If it's useful in 2025, I'm gonna say, I remember, don't you remember when you said, is that what you're talking about?
Exactly, yeah.
So hear what he's saying, ladies. Don't be a history major. And when he is vulnerable and he shares something with you, don't beat him up with it later. Would that be accurate?
Accurate.
Okay.
I think
Don't beat him
also
up with it later.
as far as like vulnerability, going to what bro said, I think a lot of women want their man to be vulnerable as long as they not the issue that he's bringing to them.
True that.
I think that when we talking about vulnerability, like when you coming to her and telling her how hard the job is, or how foul his friends is treating him, or how foul his family is treating him, she's all ears. When you come to her and tell her how foul she moving, all of a sudden the avenue is not as open. All of a sudden, every other sentence, I'm getting interrupted because you're getting super defensive in regard to what it is that I'm saying. So I think what bro is saying is real, and that right there, because how men are wired, like, we don't want to tussle with y'all. Like, we love y'all. Like, we ain't trying to argue. We ain't trying to go back and forth. We ain't trying to do that. So if we bringing up our true feelings and you shutting it down, or you stepping on it, or you getting super defensive, most men just gonna shut down. And when you do that, like, a part of your man dies without you even knowing. And that lane that should have been there, that connectedness that y'all should have had, it ain't. Now he trying to find that in exterior ways because the lane is not open. So in terms of vulnerability, I think a lot of women want vulnerability, and that's great. But you gotta be open to all type of vulnerability, even if you the culprit of what's going wrong in that man's life. And until you are, that man ain't gonna never feel comfortable opening himself up to you. And the relationship ain't gonna never reach the potential that it could.
Can I, clap it up. Can I add this part though? I think we also have to take some responsibility as men though. And the reason I say that is because, and it could be societal, it can be how we were raised. You better stop crying before I give you something to cry about. Boys don't do this. And we haven't explored our emotions enough to be able to accurately tell somebody what our emotions are. So oftentimes, even though we're being vulnerable, it's in a way that hurts. It cuts. It's clunky. Now, I'm not saying that somebody shouldn't make a space for you that's safe, but it's like you're asking somebody to make you a safe space and you're throwing stones. And I think it's important for us to get in that therapy, learn effective communication styles. He's an actor, we speak all the time, so it's probably easier for us to articulate how we feel. But a lot of men don't know how to do that. Their vulnerability looks like anger. It looks like disgust. Sometimes you don't even realize how your face looked when you were talking to a woman. Next time you get passionate, and that's what we'll call it, right? We'll say, I'm not angry, I'm just passionate. Next time you get passionate in front of a mirror and see how you look. See how your eyes strain. See how your nose flare. And I guess what I'm saying is I think there's a world where, yes, a safe space should be provided by a woman, but it's also a world where we need to be better in care in how we're verbalizing our vulnerability so that that safe space is a little easier to maintain.
Yeah.
You don't agree?
Well, there's also a world of foolish women too. So I'm not going to sit here. I'm gonna take it there for a second. There are some women who were raised by foolish women who didn't teach them how to hold space for a man. You should be able to hold space for any emotion that he brings up to you. Because if he is expressing anger, that means that he feel like he was wronged in some capacity. So I should be able to read that message. Unfortunately, I have seen this so many times. I have seen women who only know how to talk and they don't know how to listen. I have witnessed that. I have seen women that the only time they allow a man to be vulnerable is when it is acceptable to them, when it is something that they want to carry. If you're going to be someone's partner, then know how to carry certain burdens outside of yourself, just like they have to carry your burdens as well. Because y'all know how I am. I'm very balanced. I'm very neutral when it comes to this. I'm always going to be that way because I have seen women who are just argumentative. As soon as you tell them something, they ready to pop off on you until you realize that there is a fool inside of you that will not allow you to nurture the space for the person who is in front of you who loves you. You're going to continue to fall in that same cycle. And sometimes it's the people that you hang around too, because you hang around nothing but fools. So you're going to remain a fool because of the people that are fools too. the Bible tells us that she is more precious than rubies, but it also says that he can trust her as well. So we always want to pay attention to the part where it says she's more precious than rubies. Can he trust you? Can he trust you to hold his emotions? Can he trust you whenever he has to come to you with vulnerability to not weaponize it against him?
And I would also.
And so many people are emotionally illiterate. They know happy, sad, angry, not angry. They don't know frustration. They don't know anxiety. They don't know melancholy. They don't know. So a lot of times, what you think is vulnerability and what you're speaking is like Ace says, what comes out triggers her whatever, because we're emotionally illiterate. And to start practicing spiritual hygiene, you gotta educate yourself about, is this frustration or do I have gas? let me get clear about what's really going on. Because we know more about the outside than we take time to learn about the inside. Yeah?
Yeah, I was gonna also say, man, just to the ladies, like, consider the source. This is not a stranger on the street that's telling you what's wrong with them. This is the man that's taking care of you. This is the man that's raising your kids. This is the man that's paying that mortgage at that beautiful house that you live in.
Mr.
Oh.
I gotta leave off my
Hey, hold on. Can I end it there? And guess what? That's been another episode of the Tonight's Conversation podcast.